In 2016, the southern French city of Marseille was one of the first places Emmanuel Macron went to on his campaign to become president of France. He's frequently returned to the city over the past few years, and he's described it as the city of his heart. But at the first round of the election on April 10th, Macron got relatively few votes here, while the far left and the far right made strong gains.
Le 24 avril peut être le point de départ d'une nouvelle époque française et européenne. Celle de l'espérance, celle du climat, celle de l'ambition. Oui, nous gagnerons!
Macron remains the frontrunner to win the decisive second round of the election on April 24th. But in many ways, his failure to win in Marseille reflects some of the broader issues that have mired his campaign. And they also help explain why the far-right candidate Marine Le Pen has polled better than some had expected. Macron has faced criticism that he has acted aloof and behaved like a president of the rich.
Écoutez, c'est un président qui semble pas connecté à son peuple, en fait. On le voit de loin, mais il semble peu concerné par les problématiques qui montent et peu accessible.
His efforts to counter that criticism have focused on cities like Marseille, where he announced a major plan last year to boost government spending on social affairs, schools, and hospitals. Some of his supporters at the rally here in Marseille said that those initiatives show that he's headed into the right direction.
Au fond, c'est pas du tout le président des riches. Il y a eu des mesures effectivement de libéralisation de l'économie, mais elles ont permis de gagner du pouvoir d'achat.
But many of his critics are unconvinced that those initiatives really will make a difference in a city that has some of the highest poverty rates in Europe.
Il nous a endettés, surendettés. Ça suffit maintenant. On a besoin d'avoir un autre avenir que Macron.
Meanwhile, Marine Le Pen has portrayed herself as more moderate than 5 years ago, and also more attuned to their economic and social concerns.
As soon as I started my campaign, I integrated into my presidential platform to give back to the French 150 to 200 euros on average per month and per household, because I can well see that they can no longer get through it, including the middle class, who today can no longer survive.
She spent most of her campaign talking about rising inflation and the rising cost of living. Those are issues that really have resonated with a lot of voters, especially as the war in Ukraine has amplified those concerns.
Parce qu'il a enlevé des subventions, il a enlevé des cotisations, il a enlevé des aides sociales, il a enlevé tout ça pour donner à qui? Pas aux Français. Jamais aux Français. Le barrage à Macron, c'est Marine Le Pen, et je le dis. Marine Le Pen.
A Le Pen victory in the second round on April 24th would mark the first far-right presidency in the history of France. It would also upend European politics and replace one of the most fervent supporters of the European Union, Emmanuel Macron, with someone who is really known for quite anti-EU statements.
Je réunirai les chefs d'État et de gouvernement européens pour évoquer les évolutions nécessaires pour remettre les instances européennes au service des peuples et transformer peu à peu l'Union européenne en une alliance européenne des nations.
For many left-wing voters in cities like Marseille, the key question now is whether to vote Macron, Le Pen, or to abstain.
Oui, parce qu'au premier tour, j'ai effectivement voté ni l'un ni l'autre des deux qui sont en file. Si vraiment l'écart est trop serré entre Macron et Le Pen, dans ce cas-là, on ne prendra pas le risque et on votera Macron.